Yo. So today is Monday the 24th of March 2025, and today marks the day that I officially announced the release of my first photo book, which is called Board of the Biscuit. This has been a project that has been in the works, on and off, working through it and sitting on it for the past 3 years now. I conceived the idea originally when I was 22, and I'm now 25, and it's just coming out. And here's the context and the backstory of the book and the reason why it's taken me so long. So here we go. The idea is to have 8 pieces that had words and phrases on them that could be perceived both positively and negatively to you, the reader. To challenge your perception on things as a social experiment, if you will. The idea was inspired by the first phrase in the book, which is, "You'll never be 100% ready for anything." This sentence inspired me as it was comforting, but also frightening at the same time. So the photos featured in the book are taken from a very enlightening time in my life. It was taken between June and August 2022. At the time, I was heavily obsessed with words and how I could say one thing to one person and it could be completely perceived differently to another person based on their perception of things in life. So to finish the first point, the basic premise is, like I said, to challenge the reader and to discover how maybe their perception of one thing can be seen either positively or negatively. And then after reading the blurb on the back, coming around and seeing things in a different light. Shortly after I had the photos developed, I started creating some collages. The first one I created was this, a photo of Alex taken in Dartmoor after we'd climbed a massive hill in front of a page from the instruction manual from my Canon EOS 600. When I made this, I knew I'd done something, and the second piece that I made is the first artwork that's in the book. The top photo being all my friends in the newly built skate park in Ware, and the bottom being Connor on his own on a little rocky mound on a tour in Dartmoor. Shortly after the creation of these pieces and the inception of the book's idea, I went on to create the baseline for the rest of the artworks. Originally, the idea was to paint/draw on some one-of-one pieces and then to put them up on my website. So at the time, the pressure that I was putting on myself to not fuck up basically was way too high, and I ended up fumbling it and not really liking the end results. I still have them, they're behind me. I had to think of a solution, and the idea for that was to create a photo book instead, which I was really excited about actually. I'd put together the book reasonably soon after deciding to do a book, and within about a year I had the finished product in my hand, fully printed out, all 150 copies ready to go. However, that night I took it home. I immediately accidentally landed on the middle page, which at the time had 2 pieces, one of them being "Everybody Gotta Die," which is a nod to a t-shirt I made in the syrup days. I hated it. It bugged me, and if a stranger was to have the same mishap, I felt it would give the wrong impression of the project entirely from the jump, and it's just not what I wanted to put out. So I needed to find a solution. I searched for answers and feedback everywhere, some saying that it was just meant to be, some not really grasping the concept, but it was Alex, the person who uttered the title for the book, which was to have a double spread middle page. I definitely didn't hate the artwork. It's still in the book, albeit slightly adjusted, but for the initial first contact, it wasn't right. What was it going to be? Because in order to feature this double spread on the middle page, I'd have to create 2 more artworks for it to be in the same format that the current printed book was in. Here's a copy of the old book, and it opened up originally with a blank page this side and a artwork this side. As you can see here, it's not very big at all. It's a few pages. You can barely even flick through it, but the middle page was this. And that's what bugged me was this one landing on it straight away. It's just straight away, you know, it's a bit much. So in order to do the middle page spread that I was really keen on, I'd have to create 2 more artworks that would basically go here and on the other side of the page, which would obviously be here, to sort of to make it all even again. This was like squeezing a already squeezed lemon of all of its juices. I had exhausted the ideas creatively for this, and so to create something new it didn't feel right, didn't feel natural, and it felt like a stretch. It was doable and I managed to create something, but it didn't feel right. The task became too overwhelming, and then by this point we was looking at the tail end of 2023. Stepping into 2024, I had recently just gone freelance as a photographer and videographer, as well as just beginning a new romantic relationship. So I had a lot more things on my plate than the book. And so the project was shelved. The book lingered in the back of my mind, and I wondered if I'd ever finish it. It was the subject of possibility if I just knuckled down, focused on my art, and didn't let my head get in the way of creation. It caused me a bit of turmoil. I kept asking the question, when was going to be the right time? So cut to the end of 2024, and I'd survived my first year of freelancing, and the relationship had broken down. I had decided to go completely sober for the entire of 2025, as this was the year to choose me. Now, sobriety is a great thing because of all the benefits it brings you. One of them is clarity. And in one cold January night, I sat there on my bed and had a eureka moment of how to compile every single phrase and articulate it properly, and what to do for the middle spread. Realizing that I can put the first artwork on the inside of the cover page rather than it being blank, which is obviously way better, and featuring the landscape photo that I had taken of the cover, I'd also taken in landscape, so that would be the double spread as it felt right, with the squirrel overlooking the whole entire book that sort of is responsible for the entire book's concept. It was a logistical eureka moment, and finally the path had been made clear of how to finally execute and process this book to become a physical entity that I hold in my hand today. So finally, here we are, 6 years after I had last released anything to anybody, which isn't including the mug that I just put out 30 days ago. I mean, 6 years sounds so much better. Here we have a physical, tangible object created by me and my brain, Board of the Biscuit, my first photo book, featuring 8 pieces, all taken between a time period of June to August, enlightening and realizing the importance of words and how they can be perceived differently from one person to another person. Its aim is to be comforting, its aim is to be frightening, and its aim is to be challenging to you, the reader. It's available on my website, samjroper.co.uk, on the 30th of March 2025. It's £5 per copy, plus a delivery, and it's all yours for the coffee table or for friends or for family or whatever else. Anything. Let's hope that, it goes out into the world and does something great. So that's it, Board of the Biscuit, right here by Sam J. Roper, and I thank you for listening. Your words are important. Choose wisely. Big love.